description change logs, but I really got hired.
Excellent, yeah, I appreciate it.
I found last time I had to close this window after,
Favorite.
or
Because I
Because it was-
yes, to buy.
it was a delay or something.
In SEU?
Yeah,
No, not now, but they're working on the central provincial.
They call it an empty show, like they don't come off.
They're like,
Yes.
see, it's still delayed.
yeah,
Yeah, so we're
it's just like the transmission.
because
Okay.
we're there.
Very good.
Hi Colin, welcome.
Just, I've never heard of it, the police car.
Yeah, Can we close that window, that YouTube?
Well, I used to when I was a student.
This one?
Hi, Colin.
Yeah,
River all the.
See, it's really delayed.
Because they were selling mine, you know, after hours and they.
yeah, close that window.
Let me just check.
We're just checking now to see if we're still live on YouTube because we closed the window to get that double
The one
echo to stop.
was older than, those figures are older than the Ontario.
Name one person that lives not like, you know, this community, this is like the best spot I go in. Yeah.
We're still live?
PC
My
now.
gosh.
Expensive.
My woman complains about that, she got from Vancouver and she.
So do they play bagpipes,
for
dance,
3 years.
thing
They
like
do
that?
dance, when she moves on, she made, shop, the house, one,
It's gone?
Yeah, she's a dance, a little girl, and. And he is into soccer, I guess it's soccer.
Oh.
And skiing because then.
I just brought up the live stream there on YouTube. It looks like you're still live.
We're still live, thank you.
Part of the light.
No, it's not.
Okay,
They're like showing up, they're showing off, yeah, it's like their lifestyle, if anything.
We think we're still live on YouTube.
You know what, check when you get over there, and if not, run back, thank you. We have two board members zooming in right now, so you
Okay.
do have quorum.
Good.
Sarah and Colin are on, and so we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brittany said she was coming, so you're good to go.
Oh, great. Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday, August the 6th. And I'd like to call the meeting to order for Historic Sites Board. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge with respect that we are meeting in the Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, known as Bowadi. Bowadi is the home of Garden River First Nation, Bechuana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. Next is any conflict of interest today with our agenda. Yes. None noted. Adoption of we need a motion to adopt Historic Sites Board meeting for August 6th.
Move.
David. And a seconder, Heather. All in favor? Carried.
Yep, over there too.
Okay.
good.
Adoption of minutes. Okay, so this was for the meeting for June 11th. We need someone to motion the historic sites meeting of June 11th, 2025. Sandra. And someone to second it. David. All in favor? Carried. On the next page of the agenda, the business arising, we're gonna start with the branding and logo finalization. So Kathy, are you going to talk about that?
Yeah, so we, on the recommendations from an earlier meeting that Virginia was here in my place. I'm not sure who brought it forward, but it has now circulated several places to several people, including Caitlin Nebu, who is the city's Indigenous coordinator, director, I'm not sure what his title is, but And she spent a lot of time with John in the review and the description. So she didn't mind the logo look at all, it was how we were saying what they represented. So she's worked with John, we have a final version in the package. So, and the reason we're sort of asking you now to give us your yay or nay is that we would like to launch it at Fall Rendezvous as part of Ontario Culture Days. And this year it's 60 years that the city has owned the Old Stone House. So we want a big hoopla. So I don't know if there's any further questions from anyone on it. Colin or Sarah have any comment on it?
Nothing from me, and the page attached in the agenda with the descriptions of what each segment represents. I've been kind of following along with some of the options, and I'm glad that we've settled on this one. I think it covers a lot, and it fuses a lot of the relevant ideas into one really nice, concise visual identity. So nicely done.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions about the logo?
I think it's great. It's amazing how, from day one where we had the first draft, or it's how long,
It's involved.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, like how, evolved. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So a year ago at this time, when John started with us, I said, hey, your first job. And so he started looking at all the branding as in general. And because we hadn't branded since probably about the year 2003 or something when we opened the Blockhouse. But it still was the Old Stone House logo. And if for Colin, I believe you're on Municipal Heritage, same with Sarah and Jamie. That's your logo for Municipal Heritage.
Yes, it is.
So it's been a logo for two committees, sort of, and our site. So, and now with the Blockhouse, we have more buildings, and we have, as what we say, stories steeped in stone. So, yeah.
Very cool.
So if we're all good to take a vote, Madam Chair, you can do it.
So we have to approve the branding and the logo, redesigned for the Richard Clark National Historic Site. And to agree to launch at the Fall Rendezvous Festival in September 2025. So we need someone to motion this. Heather? A seconder? Sandra?
Oh, and Sarah had it, and both called Sarah and Colin.
Okay.
Do you want your name on the file, or do you want?
You can,
Okay, well, but Colin is a seconder,
whatever.
Great.
right? So, all in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, carried.
Thank you.
And this event takes place Wednesday to Saturday, September 24th to 27th, right?
So the unveiling day, we're aiming for the 27th.
Okay.
Ontario Culture Days has to be Friday, Saturday, sort of, for public days. And we also, Saturday, when I get to our update on Fall Rendezvous has a special flair this year. So we thought it'd be good.
Very nice.
That is the big public hoopla day.
Great.
I'm saying hoopla, wait till you hear.
Okay, there's a lot coming forward then.
There's gonna be a lot of hoopla.
Yeah. Accounts, and we'll start with the budget of 2026.
So, Madam Chair, I'll just there are in your agenda packages a number of budget items that really couldn't wait till September because by a point in August, they have to be handed in departmentally and then departmentally to finance and then council gets it later this year. So I thought, well, since we're meeting, we might as well do these. The first one is proposed user fees. And in the agenda package, there is proposed user fees. It's a spreadsheet with some yellow highlight. An Excel sheet, so. This year, finance has asked that about a 2.8 inflation rate be put onto user fees. But then you have to look at what's realistic and I think council decided that it needs to be rounded. So I went through and not everything I'm proposing be increased. But the things that are looking to be increased, it was my thought, and this is all open to discussion. Instead of, I looked at adding HST. We've always included it, and so it gets deducted out of our user fee. So if we add some of them, then I had to do, you'll have to see on admissions, I had to really look at those because adding HST then brought it to some weird admission price that was not rounded. So then I thought, okay, we'll go up $1. When you back out the HST, it's still more than what we were getting in prior years because HST was included. So those are highlighted there. They all kind of are up $1 to cover that. And the rounding, and then still getting us our admission. And then you can see some of the other things that I've said we're going to add HST to because everywhere else we go, taxes extra. So a lot of the things like dinners, Heritage Culinary dinners, and evening in the summer kitchen tickets of those kind of sorts were all birthday parties, all those things. I'm suggesting let's just add the HST.
Right.
So is there any questions? Is there any thoughts on any that I missed that you think we should be looking at?
I think one item to note would be to have a list of which publicly available list of which items where HST is not included, because I can imagine some confusion where if somebody comes with their family just to tour the premises, the regular day admission, and they see that HST is included, but then they return and want to have a birthday party, for example, they might come back and say, oh, well, why is HST included on this one, but it wasn't when we came for our daily admission. So just a notation anywhere where the prices are posted publicly that the items where HST is not included are listed, or an asterisk on each one with a bit of a subscript saying HST not included in these items. But other than that, I think the rationale makes sense.
Point well taken. I've made a note. On those, which ones HST will be added.
I just have a question, maybe just some clarification. Under educational tours, so the outreach kit and the virtual curriculum kits, So it's at $125, and what is the details on that? Like, what does that include?
So we do, when we were during COVID doing a lot of virtual tours, we still get occasionally for the district schools. We do up a kit of supplies that gets sent by the school board ahead of time, and then they're ready when we do the virtual tour. And they have their supplies and we walk them through the activities as part of our tour. And when I say walk, I mean Ian actually walks up the stairs and he'll say, stand beside your desk and walk with me. And okay, here we are upstairs now. And then, but in the 2-hour program, there are activities and supplies that we forward. Those, because they're supplies, we can add the HST to.
Okay,
But school tours for 14 and under are exempt. Programming for 14 and under is exempt from HST.
and there's just a little increase in that, right? Like, is it from $105, it's $125? Is that the only?
So it was, there was a fee of $80 and $25 for the kit, but we're saying now we will charge HST. We'll take the $80 out of that $125 because it's exempt, and then the remainder has the HST included. So it's up a bit,
It's not, yeah, that's fair.
and it's equal, like Atomica and everybody else that are doing the virtual tours, or that's the price they charge.
Any questions or comments about any of these pictures?
Well, I'm curious about the ones that we're no longer using, are we giving them away all, or you're just giving them up? Oh, okay.
So what
So
we've
you are
been,
using them, it's just you're not.
yeah, what we've been doing is just including it in the
Yeah.
admission. Because we also have the QR codes now, and they can use their phone for, we called it the Questy 1812. And there's 15 spots on the property that they can use one of our phones or our tablet for that. And that's not extra funding like that we're charging the users. So we thought, you know what? We're gonna just let them use the audio tours too. It just makes a better experience. And soon we'll have the AR.
Oh, yeah,
No, they're not excluded as if we threw out the wands.
so you don't wanna just say that they're free, or like, to
Oh,
say that you're no
yeah.
longer using it, just.
No longer using the fee. So,
So did we?
okay.
Did we recover the cost of that initiative over the year?
We sure did.
Oh, we did, oh, fine, just
Yeah.
a random question, all right,
Yeah.
that's good to hear.
I'll make a note to clarify the fee is being deleted. Fee is deleted.
We're good. We'll go to the next.
Any questions, Sarah or Colin?
No, I don't have any, thanks.
So I'm wondering for the events that you habitually sell out, like Teeth and Friday Five Fire.
HST is added now.
Pardon?
HST is going to be added.
Oh,
now.
all right, okay, there you go. I'm
So-
thinking there might be tolerance for a higher fee there.
So if we add HST to $35 for the high T, it comes up to $36.16. You can see in the far columns. Of which we're getting 32, whereas before 35, then we had to deduct out the HST.
Right. I'm just thinking your food services are sort of gold.
I want to say it right
Of
about.
what you do. I don't know, yeah, I still think that's still a draw if the prices go up, in my opinion.
It's really a fine line because you have to look, like, we're not, what is it, the Prince of Wales in Niagara on the Lake. But when I looked at Royal Botanical Gardens and you're sitting in the gardens and having high tea, this is their price. So,
Okay,
Wow.
and some of the other museums, I think it, like in the heritage homes that are doing teas. $35 is, so we're watching now how much food we put up.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, so. Yeah,
Okay.
we need a motion to approve then the proposed user fees for 2026 as discussed, please. Motion,
I'll do it.
okay, David. A seconder. Collins,
Sarah's got her hand up too.
okay,
I put Sarah.
okay, we'll put, I put both. All in favor? Carried. Next item, the operating budget for 2026.
So the annual budget, we don't have a lot of leeway in. So it's really up to senior management and finance. So, but I am looking at putting in an operational increase because contracts basically for maintenance are exorbitant. So snow removal, snow shoveling, HVAC repair, all those maintenance day-to-day items, even pest control went up by like 3 times the amount on a monthly basis. So, but we have to have all those. So I did, I'm looking to see what I included for you. Yeah, there is a form after the user fees, that it's about 19,000 we're estimating, so that it'd be an increase, especially on 15 on maintenance, and then also the gift shop and the front desk now, we rarely do cash deposits, like on occasion, our deposits like $20. All of that's on some sort of plastic. So debit, credit, and so our fees, right now we have 2 systems. So we have at the front desk one system and in the gift shop another, and we're paying fees on those companies for the use of plastic.
Heather,
Have you called Moneris or ActiveNet and asked and told them like what type of property you are, to see if you can get your fees taken down, or with the cost of how much retail you do, whether or not they can give you more of a discount? Cause like I know they've called our office, we don't run enough to maybe do that, but you might be able to negotiate some
I
of your
have
fees.
to,
if
so
you can.
the glitch is, we're owned and operated by the municipality,
Mhm.
and everyone uses those 2 programs
Okay.
across the corporation.
So it's one system that, okay, so I was asking, because if you had your own system, you might be able to negotiate. some
Yeah,
discount.
so however, when we get our new website, we're looking at a small administrative fee for people to purchase tickets online and admission online. Because we're getting charged, if they use a credit card, we're getting charged that fee, so.
Is out of curiosity, is that something you should go to a department about and say, is there a way for maybe the city itself to look at whether or not it could negotiate your fees, considering you have not-for-profit services using them? Like, I'm just asking a question for you there.
Well, those are things I can bring forward, yeah.
Yeah, cause I think it would be good to just reassess it, say
Yeah.
there must be a way, cause like not everybody, like all the sites can't afford really high credit card fees, if you're not for profit really, so. I would just ask.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, does not hurt to ask.
ActiveNet sent out an email 2 months ago that they're increasing fees 7% more.
That's ridiculous.
So like last year it was 5%. Yes.
Mm.
Now, we might be switching everything to Shopify,
Okay.
but it'll still be Moneris taking the money. I don't know how that works.
But yeah, yeah, because there's a, what's the word, there's like an app.
Yeah.
That talks to each other, but that's why it said.
Yeah, so we might not have ActiveNet,
Okay,
because our website is being designed for Shopify, and then it's just Moneris. So we'll see how it works out. But made a note.
okay, good, should always ask if they can renegotiate these. Bring those down, because that's high.
Sandra,
Kathy, I know the answer, but I'm just gonna throw it out anyway. For snow removal, so we have to hire our own snow removal service. There's no way that Public Works can help us. You probably don't wanna dabble in there because dependability.
So our parking lot is plowed by a private company. That's
Okay.
not part of this, even Heritage Parking Lot is a private company,
Okay. Okay,
so we have the same company.
yeah,
Since they're going through, they might as well just go
for
through.
sure, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I think Public Works is trying to stay on streets
yeah,
and not parking lots.
yeah, no, I agree,
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask the question. Cause I think they cleaned the city hall's parking lots.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I know I can hear Susan saying, forget it, but. You know, just throwing it out there,
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Well, I was thinking about, I had my hand up, by the way, I'm not just speaking. It's really, sitting behind the chair makes it feel like it's really awkward. Before I turned to this page, when I just saw the item in the agenda, having come from the library board, I automatically assumed another contractual obligation would be security. And I don't see that on here, so your security costs are stable or?
we don't have security guards like the library.
No, you don't.
So we have cameras and alarm systems,
Okay,
that's our security.
and that's your, oh, really, there isn't like an on-site patrol?
No, but if anything is triggered, I'm looking at those of you on Zoom as well. If something is triggered, our department has a supervisor on call 24/7.
Oh,
And
yes,
so
okay.
we're called out, like, my turn's coming the end of August, so. We
No.
all-
There you
we
go.
all do 5 weeks in the year,
Oh, God.
and yeah, I've been called out at 3 in the morning or whatever.
I'm sure you have,
So,
yeah,
it's all the facilities in our department are done that way.
okay,
So we all have cameras, we all have alarm systems. And, there is like the plaza and places now that have people,
yeah, there's a patrol.
but I think it's part and parcel of the downtown patrol as well, so they
Yes.
sort of roam a bit.
Remember the Tom Bear group?
Yeah, and they do, between the police and those security companies, they do drive-bys as well.
Oh, okay,
So we're all part of the package, so that,
okay,
yeah, we don't have, like, the library has a security person
no,
yet.
no, they've got your full-time security there.
Yeah.
A second anticipated expense that I don't see here is the HR thing, like, are you?
So operating
Is there like
budget,
pay equity, or is there something coming that we should be aware of?
so
on that?
that's under 614 on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So operating budget is
Service level.
just the regular operational expenses.
Yeah,
So to look at other increases, which involves HR.
oh,
stuff.
operational.
It's
Oh,
a service line.
Okay,
So, yeah, I know. Took me a long time. I've been here how many years? I finally get it.
Yeah, me too, I'm from board to board, it's different, so. The IT stuff that is happening in the augmented reality and the new website and all that, that's not an additional cost to the budget or,
No, well, we don't know what the maintenance will be.
right?
Website alone will have some. So and we're hoping that with the operational, like that extra 4,000. Or also for the Moneris and ActiveNet fees, that will assist us in hosting the website.
Okay. So is that another contract long term or?
Well, this first RFP to develop the website includes the first 3 or 5 years, so we're good.
Perfect,
We're
okay,
good for a bit.
okay, we're good for a bit, all right, yeah, interesting, okay.
Sarah has a question or a comment. Sarah?
I do. Thank you so much. Under the operating increase request form, I just wanted to point out, and you may have already addressed this. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing just at my end, but under other supporting information, we don't yet have 2024 listed. So I'm just wondering if that was because we're still waiting to finalize that number or if we're just choosing to leave that off.
Good point. Oh,
Yeah, wow. she's
Okay.
watching, yeah.
2024 needs to be added. I'll take a look at that. Thank you.
No problem.
That's a whole year.
That was last year. I think I still think it's 2024.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Time is fleeting.
So if there isn't any other questions or comments, we've discussed the operational increases, so we need someone to motion the budget.
I could leave that motion.
Jamie?
Sure, why not?
And someone to second. Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. And item 614 is,
613, I think, sorry.
oh yeah, 613, asset management. And it's, yeah,
So the city has an asset management plan, which is the maintenance of assets. And in that plan, I just go in and tweak it every year. And this is sort of the priorities, and it's really hard to put in I can't say that word, priority list. However, these are top items, first of all. And then if I had to, I would probably say the blockhouse. That's why it's at the top of the list. We had the blockhouse in for this year and didn't get approved, so maybe for next year. So it would be the same sort of things that have just been done to the old stone house, the roof, the window repairs, and the chinking and log repair. Are there any questions on maintenance?
Could I ask you a question?
Jamie, go ahead.
Were you, at one point, we were having a discussion about the boardwalk out front,
We were.
and I don't see that on here, so for 2020.
So the boardwalk, actually, I have put in another plea to the accessibility committee. And there's been a few grants come forward, and I said, could you please look at these for our boardwalk? So I keep pushing.
Do you have a quote on what that project is for?
Well, no, because every time I get a great idea, it has to go through them for approval. And some of the ideas are not accessible as I thought. So,
It has to go through the municipal accessibility,
yeah, for accessibility issues.
if they don't have, that's,
Then their
This is not a
recommendation.
building, this is an outside path.
So if it was, like I suggested a stamped concrete. Or the aggregate, what do they call it that time? The pebbles in the cement.
It's sort of like a crushed
Yeah.
stone, eh?
Yeah.
So. We're still deciding on those.
I don't think they have a role in an outdoor path. The building code only deals with in buildings. Stairs and ramps.
I can find that out.
I was told-
That's a valid point.
I was told there were federal guidelines for built heritage. But there are not provincial guidelines for built heritage, so I don't think they have mandates. Mind
So
you, they have money. So.
they help get money for accessibility, yes.
Yeah, but in terms of approval, I'm not sure that municipal accessible to paths is a whole here.
I'm on that committee as well.
Oh, are you? Oh, good,
Yeah.
then you know more than I do.
No, you're dead on.
Well, I'm here, I'm getting my information from Dorothy McNaughton and she's a
Yeah.
consultant in this area.
Yeah,
And I have shared this information with her, I've asked her questions
Yeah.
and she does not see a role for that community.
yeah.
In terms of approval.
Yeah, I think I'm not an expert, Diane's the expert, but I think you might be right. I think it's more like when you talk about the outside, you can ask for advice. But we don't really have to. But anyway, you can clarify.
Yeah, okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's handy that you're on that committee though, because you'll receive the other end of this.
Yeah,
Of
so
the
we're two
discussion.
hats.
Very handy.
Yeah.
Sarah has a question or comment. Sarah?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to know if these numbers for the asset management capital plan, if they include maybe a 10% contingency in case of variables and construction fees, or if that would have to come extra.
That's another valid point. I just sort of boosted what they had in the asset management plan because it was done several years ago. And we know based on the cost of the old stone house, what the cedar shake roof was and that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah, I was just thinking
and
because
most of the contracts have a 10%, like when we do a contract for capital construction, there is a 10% contingency.
yeah,
Yeah, so.
it's just
but-
all of these costs have greatly increased in the last few years. So I would just be worried that these aren't real numbers if they're based on previous years. Like any sort of quotes that we would have received a few years ago, those costs would likely have grown.
I am making a note because this goes into Virginia and then, up the chain of command, so I've made a note about those two.
Great, thanks, Kathy.
No, thank you.
Okay, so there's probably more information on asset management to come.
Yeah, this is sort of the priority that from my point of view and walking around the buildings all the time.
Next is the service level increase for 2026.
So, looking at 2026. There is going to be some changes. The city is looking at the non-union level. So anyone not in the union, especially on a full-time basis, is being reviewed. Because it hasn't been done in a very long time. And they're being compared to other communities of similar size and all of that. So if changes come about in that HR level of service, it'll be added after council takes a look. Then I've been looking at what could possibly happen in the next 2 years here, which means a mass exodus. because we're all old. I hate to say it. So, full-time and regular part-time are being looked at, and how to sort of, what are we gonna do? Kind of think succession planning, and also how can we reallocate some of that stuff? And in the interim, this old brain is not going to function well if I have to do all the back end of a new website and figure out the AR and all of that. And it's really a driving force right now. We're finding the stats when we get to our key performance indicators later, you'll see the increase of people coming to the site because of our social media. So all of those things, to me, are showing that we have to look at a different and new position. And that's, so we have a business plan included in your agenda package for review and submission. Internally in the division, we're looking to see how we can, and as I said, sort of look at the retirements that could possibly happen here, and how and if we're going to need council to approve funds for this position. But the bottom line is we need the position. So as a business case, and then a job description comes next and all those things, this sort of is almost one of those things that someone's going to have to do. As we move into the technological world of being online and meeting our digital plan and our strategy, and and we're hoping that online sales for admissions and online ticket sales for events and all of those things, and even the added little bit of that user fee, the administrative fee and all that will help. And we should need more people coming. People that are coming now are saying, they saw when we ask at the desk, how'd you hear about us? Oh, social media. And even for some of our events with the new faces, we're asking, oh, how'd you hear about our event? Oh, social media. So we did have someone see something 6 months ago now. My head's a blur, so I'm not even sure what it was, but they came because they saw it on yours. So yeah. So this position business case is here. I put it in that if you're in approval to pursue it, then Virginia and I will pursue it. And we'll work with senior management at our levels, and before it gets into the 2026 budget. It explains what some of the primary duties would be. We're still only at 2 full-time staff here, so this would help.
So we're asking for a digital coordinator position.
Yeah.
So one for
A third full-time position.
Is that what John does?
Well, currently we have an intern, yes, John. He's here till, we got an extension with Bednar, so he's here until February. Which will get everything up and running.
Yeah. So if this is approved, can you see moving into this?
If this position gets approved at all levels,
Yeah.
then we would hope that he would continue on. Just because he's so familiar with it all, and he's working one-on-one with the website developers and the AR developers. But I can't guarantee employment for anyone, and it has to be an approved position and then a job description and then a posting. So.
Sarah, question or comment?
Just a comment. I noticed, because Kathy has mentioned this and in her in her verbal report, but I don't see under potential impact of business results if not approved on page 2, which is page 13 of 15 in our package. At the bottom here, it's talking about these impacts, and really it won't, I think we should put something down there about how the supervisor would be impacted and not be able to focus on the higher level achievements for the site, because that is the biggest impact in my opinion. How can you plan for succession and do the day-to-day as a supervisor if you're going to have to do all of this as well?
Thanks, Sarah. I'm writing that one down.
Yeah.
Hey, got it.
Okay, so the Historic Sites Board, they need to approve the submission of the service level increase as discussed. So we need someone to motion. Sarah?
Yeah, I can motion that. Thanks.
Okay, Sarah and a seconder. Heather? All in favor? Carried. Sarah? Or was
I was
that-
just saying I was in favor of my own motion, but we're
Oh,
good. Thank you.
all right, 6141 business case.
Well, that was,
So
yeah,
is that,
see how the agenda gets typed? 6.1.4 was the service level increase, and below that should have been this business case proposal, so it's 4.1.
okay, so we go on to the curator's report. Kathy?
So, I did include the second quarter of KPIs, which is our key performance indicators. And they're here, just as a note, and I spoke to Jamie at the Bush Plane, that they're reporting the same, everyone's down in walk-in tourism. Group tours are great, they're still coming, in fact, we've got a few extras this year, and next year's lineup has even more. So bus tours, cruise ships, all of those things, but the walk-in visitor is down, we're all noticing it. I think they've all gone to the East Coast, so. In my travels of being in Toronto a lot this year, Toronto's streetcars, buses, what are those big signs? Billboards, all say Nova Scotia and PGI.
Oh.
All of them, they're wrapping the streetcars and the buses. Anyways,
That's interesting.
so we'll see how this third quarter will actually give us more of an indication. How many people are walking in the door.
There's the beach that I through the roof people.
Oh my goodness, there's a big beach here.
Oh, the windows are open. He's a big bumblebee.
Hopefully he can find his way out.
She's leaving, right?
Oh,
I agree.
He's trying to find his way out.
They're all over the place.
Oh, it's a big one.
When is that poor baby's gonna find?
if you look at in the key performance indicators. Pre-COVID,
those days.
in 2019, you can see under general site visitors, the grand total was, almost 5,000 people. And like, we're only still in the hundreds for the general site walk-in visitors.
Sandra?
Question, so when you look at the stats from last year, it makes my eyes. Last year, we were saying you had a high walk-in, was it mostly Canadians, were they Americans, like, do you have a percentage?
I'd have to look and see, we do in the details,
Okay,
so I'll have to look back and see.
I'm just
I mean,
curious.
it's still not fantastic, it's only half, last year's
Yeah.
total was only half of pre-COVID,
Yeah, yeah,
so, but it was coming.
yeah, yeah,
Slow,
I'm just curious, cause bridge traffic is down.
yeah.
significantly,
Yeah.
and,
They're coming, the Americans are coming, but
Oh,
they're
they are.
coming on group tours,
okay,
so.
The bridge was busy today, so the staff first thing was forming to a mail run, and they said like when they were coming back, all the cars in the line were shooting place.
really,
Yeah, they're going back in, so they're traveling in, maybe it's just. I'm sure the numbers were down, they
Yeah.
are, but
that's
interesting that there was a
Very
group tour, so. I'd like to know those numbers too.
So, as you can see down below though, our social media engagement are really doing well. It's hard to see, I'm very sorry for the fine printout on the printed packages. Sarah and Colin can like zoom in on their computers, but. But it, like, when you look at total Facebook views, 942,000.
Oh, yeah.
People know about us.
Isn't that great?
They just need to get here.
Yeah.
So that was just general comment. We'll see how this, usually the third quarter, because now we're looking at like July, August, September, yeah.
Sorry, another question, you just tweaked a thought, so if we're getting all those hits, to your point, all those hits. You know, how do we get them to come here, how do we basically nudge them to come here? Is there something that we could tweak on our website to create curiosity, say, okay, now, I don't know, I'm not
And that-
a marketing
That's
person.
exactly what we're working on once
Yeah.
we get our new website, is then
Yeah.
how to create the lure to come.
Exactly,
Yeah,
okay,
so even the hint of these new AR,
yeah,
like the teasers, they're
Yeah.
gonna be there, all that sort of
yeah,
things, and we'll be able to put stuff up. That will, because we're really limited right now on the city's website, and so events, like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sarah, oh, sorry.
No, that's all, thank you.
I think,
David,
yeah, question. The Facebook visits, does that include the Friends of? Or is that just
No.
yours?
Just
Okay.
ours.
Because that's a pretty busy site.
The Friends of
Facebook.
is,
Yeah, they do that
it's
virtual rendezvous, and I think they get a lot of hits on
the
that.
youth,
Because it runs year round.
that's YouTube videos. So it's not,
Oh,
you
that's
have to
not Facebook?
actually,
Oh.
it's linked if we link
Okay,
it.
because I get that through Facebook.
Yeah, you can link them to so it might be something that when I can let John know to.
Just
link the
curious, 'cause
YouTube videos, yeah.
we don't want to be diluting our viewership
Yeah.
between two sites.
Heather?
Do you have any way of indicating whether when people are planning to visit, like say for example, maybe they're looking this year, it's late in the year, sorry that eat. But maybe they're planning to come say next year, or maybe they're looking now, but maybe they're looking at events say in the fall. Like, is there a way that you could talk to maybe John to see on the new website how you can track that? Like, for example, we have inquiries and we have like a short little blurb saying, okay, oh, you're ordering a travel guide. Okay, here's some questions for you. When
Yeah.
are you planning your trip? And most people are planning, if it's like say July, they're planning for next year because they're already on vacation this year. So is there a way to indicate somewhere on the site
Those
or
are-
information you could get, say, okay, you're on here and you're looking. When do you think you might come?
Yeah, okay. I'll talk to him because he's working directly with the web developers.
So it'd be nice to get like a little bit of data that people are willing to take, you know, like these people are very, obviously. Really concerned about how data is being gathered, but you're openly asking them, they could choose to maybe answer, I don't know if there's an incentive. Maybe there's like a contest you could run, or maybe they fill in something and you send something for free. Or maybe there's a coupon or discount. Say like you filled in this little survey for us, here's like 10% off your admission or something, I don't know. Just try to get some more data gathering that's, you know, volunteer, not just you're taking it from an app or something.
Sarah has a question, comment?
Thanks.
Just a query. Does anyone here know if we've ever championed to be a Canada Heritage Minute? The clerk, Blockhouse? Because I don't see it listed on the Historic of Canada website, so I'm just wondering if that's something that we could look at as a project, like a side project.
Yeah,
Just looking at these numbers, so it just,
Yeah,
that would be something to increase our numbers greatly. If we could champion that.
I was at a conference, years ago, and there was a speaker from that agency at the conference. And you could see every person in the room was thinking, oh, you know what, I've got an idea, and you could almost see the hands shooting up in the air. And he was very sort of discouraging about, how long it takes for a Heritage Minute project to play out and post-production and how many applications they get and how many get accepted, and it seemed like a very narrow window. Because I was thinking, I always thought we should have one for Etude Brûlée. And who is a National Historic Person. But the plaque for Etude Brûlée is not here, too, it's somewhere else.
Sandra. Or James down. Oh, so. Going along that thought, when you're traveling between Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, the city is doing some more promotion. There's more billboards now, and there's a billboard for mountain biking. So maybe next year, talk to Travis Anderson or definitely Virginia to say, how do we take over that billboard? Or work with, a couple of the other sites and have a billboard near Sudbury or Highway 69. Something like that.
I had that thought when Kathy was talking earlier, and I drove back and forth to February recently. And there's one heritage billboard, and it's for Fort St. Joe, and it's at the turnoff for Fort St. Joe.
Yeah,
Like, it's not anywhere near Sudbury or Parry Sound or Wall
Yeah.
or,
yeah,
it's a stupid location. I was at the airport a week later.
Yeah.
We're looking at billboards. There are 4 billboards out there sponsored by Tourism SSN. Mountain biking was one of them, the Agawa Train, of course, which.
Yeah.
There were 4, none of them had anything to do with heritage and culture. I don't think, and we're working on this heritage booklet, this is
yeah,
a pet thing of mine, I'm getting
Yeah.
emotional, but. When you look at this heritage booklet that we're working on, there are 15 national historic sites, events, people.
yeah,
There's another one in the works that I expected to be approved in June that didn't happen, but that, another story, another event. I don't see why we couldn't design a collage of, including Fort St. Joe, of the national
Exactly.
historic things that have been designated.
Exactly.
We don't have to make this up, right? It's there.
yeah,
And why are we not advertising our heritage and culture on a billboard at the airport? You don't even see the old stone house or anything at the airport. I mean, and there's mountain bikes and there's a hub trail, and that's all good and everything, but you're totally missing something
yeah,
that has national significance.
yeah. I agree, and I still like to see something closer to the Sudbury market. And mountain biking is all great, but I think it's time to relinquish one of those spots for us. We can't forget about us that have been around for 60 years.
The only billboards on the highway between here and Sudbury were Fort St. Joe,
Yeah.
Bush Plain, and Agawa Train.
Yeah, and there was one, maybe they switched them up, but there was one for mountain biking a couple months ago, and the Miss Marie, which is great. I'm not criticizing
I didn't
that,
see
I'm just saying that over the years, to your point. I haven't seen us being promoted, and I think the city should be able to help us with that.
I've made notes.
Okay. But
Madam Chair, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to Sarah's point.
Yes.
Also, besides the Canadian Heritage Minutes videos, Living History Algoma locally has just completed 2 updates. And we call them Moments in Algoma. But one is on LeBreton Ross, who was the first superintendent at the canal, and the other was Anna McCrae. So it might be worthwhile even locally, and they that team has been very good at securing a local production team for filming and post-production and all of that, and chopping it down to like a minute and a half. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I do have one more suggestion if I may. Porter Airlines, they still do the in-flight magazine. I think it's really well
Porter,
done.
yeah.
And is there opportunity for them to do a story on us? And maybe to Jamie's point, the collage idea, you know, snippets of this and that. And I don't think they charge. I think they do it as a community gesture. So maybe hypothetically, they can run a story on us for next May or June, just before the tourist season.
And they're, and to the point, have them promote the cultural attraction pass.
Yeah.
And then they can get, like, they could do, you know, a boat deal, so my house on the site, but also like, here's other attractions in the city and that would include everybody. So maybe they, you know, because it's a multiple trip pass, and assuming they don't have to visit all at the same time, so
I just don't like it because there's a big spider.
maybe don't use this fire.
I just mean.
I will compile the rest
Tarantula.
of the 15 national things that I have that are coming out in that booklet, possibly 16, and I'll share it with the group because that could be a working list. Because actually Kathy and I talked about it 2 years ago now. Kathy doesn't remember because she's, I can tell by your face you don't remember. So
Say it again.
my question to Kathy was, has Ermitanger ever been designated? Did anybody ever nominate Ermitanger as a National Historic Person, the way Clerk has been? And Kathy's answer was no. And that's one of the reasons I rejoined this committee, because I would like to work on a group, with a group that's doing that. And the second thing is the blockhouse has not been designated a National Historic Building. And there's some indication that it was nominated,
Yeah,
and the nomination was declined. But I would like to take a second look at that. Yeah. Because I ended up on this committee. And I still, you know, to this day, I have no idea why I was on the committee, but. And we nominated the Algonquin Central as the National Historic Event. And they wrote a heritage report. If the nomination was accepted, was in, you know, and somebody wrote a report. And now it has to go to the board for a vote, and it's been 2 years, going more than 2, but we're waiting for that. And I think they meet in June and October, so we're hoping at some point, and then we had a discussion among our group about like where would the plaque go? And what would the text look like on it and that, and the text is like a song, it's like a Gordon Lightfoot, you know, it would have been a steal, and oh my god, it would be absolutely brilliant if we got that.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why that we couldn't do, there are more, you know, Etchen Brûlé has been designated National Historic Person. The designation is under review because of colonial terminology, but from what I'm reading online, he wasn't nominated for anything here, like the designation that doesn't include him discovering this lake. Or, you know, I think we could, anyway, that's another story, but. So I would like to kind of work on an Ermitanger nomination, I think that would be, his house is already designated, I think the report writes itself. Yeah. So that would be like business arising for a meeting in in October or something when I think that was what Kathy said 2 years ago. Wait until October when I'm done with the cruise ships and the tourists and yeah.
Thank you, Jeannie, for very, very valid points.
Sarah
has one in. Yeah, Sarah, go ahead.
Hi, yes, me again. Sorry, I'm looking at the numbers and I just had a follow-up question for 2 of them. For educational tours for programs, school curriculum, etc. in the blue, do we have a big boost in the fall months for Q3 and potentially Q4, Kathy? Like, do we get a lot of students at that time of year versus the first half of the year?
So we, come September, October, November, December. So it's part of Q2, quick Q3, sorry, and obviously Q4. That's when we do all our, mostly our school tours.
Okay. So that
Rhonda
number is not really low right now.
is anywhere from 800 to 1,200 students, all the grade 7s. And then we get grade 3s in here after rendezvous, and then we go right into Christmas programming. So, yeah, and then we still get schools in January, February. But after that, like from March till September, it's a lull, obviously for the summer, but when you get into March, you get EQAO testing and all those things that interfere with the teachers' agendas and timelines, so. But we definitely, the numbers will, by year end, will be back up for those.
Okay, and then my second question was, I brought this up before at a previous meeting, but every time we come to site, those numbers are being included under the green non-paying, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, perfect.
And in the annual report, it's listed sort of separately as well under volunteers.
Okay, great.
So could I ask about the educational programming as well? At some point in, past years, I was working on one of your strategic plans, and for whatever reason, I looked up the Ontario school curriculum and discovered that they have, the 7/8 have a curriculum assignment and the 3/4 do, and also grade 10. And I wondered if you've ever thought of programming for that third.
Grade 10,
What's the grade 10
we
topic? I
do
forget.
get grade 10,
Okay,
Canadian history. So we also get, I think it's grade 9 civics. Because, and we do those.
okay,
They're just more rare, but it is offered to the school boards.
okay, yeah. Cool.
I just, can we leave the KPIs? Any further questions on our key performance indicators? So just quickly on programming and bookings that right now it's more of a special event, so Blueberry's coming up. And we're focusing on getting ready for the onslaught of school tours. But bookings for group tours, like bus tours, road scholars, the cruise ships. We get one road scholar a week on Friday night, and we get a cruise ship once a week as well, so, and we are doing 2 different itineraries right now with the cruise ships. So we're open for the hop on, hop off that they coordinate to all the attractions, for the cruise ship when it docks at the tent. But we have a land excursion called the Great Canadian Maple. And we have a tour guide that gets on with them, and they go to Hogan's and they learn about sugaring. And then they come here and we feed them Hogan's, but with our blueberry pancakes for lunch. And then they get the historic talk of sugaring and the value of the maple sugar and syrup versus white sugar and all those. And it was a fur trade item, and then they get to tour the site. So we have all of those, like I said, are booked in every week right now. So we've had, with the Road Scholar program, we've had 3 new bus tour companies inquire about it, so the word's getting out. Great. And then if I can, Madam Chair, I can just keep going.
Yes, keep going.
Okay, any questions on programming or bookings before I leave that one?
Fall Rendezvous in Highlander Day.
So, the Friends of received their approvals on all their grant funds, but one of them came in at half the amount, but anyways, Fall Rendezvous is going forward and they're diligently out looking for sponsors. And so they have sponsor levels. But the exciting thing is, so Fall Rendezvous is 4 days, mainly because 2 days. Yes, the public can come, but it's geared towards education and every grade 7 in Sault Ste. Marie comes for that. The Friday, Saturday are part of Ontario Culture Days and they're open to the public. And this year, we're adding, we couldn't go full-fledged on Highland games like Fergus does in Southern Ontario. Cause like, we're not quite ready for, what's the one with you throw the big pole?
The caber,
Yeah,
the caber top.
caber toss. And you know, all of those things, or the big shot put throw and all those, so. But we are adding in a Highlander Day on Saturday. And we have invited pipe band and Scottish dancers. And the link to the history, because it has to have the link or we can't do it, is the Scottish fur traders that were part of the fur trade with Charles Ermatinger. One predecessor sort of, and an overlap when Charles started was a McTavish. So we've taken over the McTavish tartan. And we are going full gusto. So on the Saturday, we're gonna take a break in the middle. We will highlight each pipe band. We will highlight the dancers. But we're gonna do, instead of, can't call it a tattoo, because we're not doing the Highland Games, but it's a masses band where they'll all play together. So it can't rain. So far, knock on wood, Rendezvous has not had rain. So this could lead in the future to a bigger festival.
That's so great.
So and then I might have adopted and stolen an idea from the Fergus one. And they are, you know, we're not quite that big yet, so we won't have an Outlander character like they do. They have someone from the show Outlander coming for the whole festival. They do every year. But they're also doing with that one person and a company, I'm sure, a Scotch tasting night. So I thought we could do that. So we're hoping Friday night will be a ticketed event with Scotch tasting, and I have not heard officially, but they're thinking about it. The Whiskey Barrel.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a good follower.
So
They do. Yeah,
with
I love that place.
so it would be food and beverage evening, and we did a rum tasting with Parks Canada several years ago. And the gentleman from Signal Hill came and they wore their red coats and they did a whole rum tasting thing. So it's a takeoff of that. So those are when I said we're going hoopla this year. During Saturday, during the mass bands, it's called, we'll take a break and we'll pipe in dignitaries, and we will, now that you've approved it, unveil the new branding and logo and have an anniversary cake for 60 years. So, yeah, cool. So like, don't go anywhere for that Saturday. Historic Sites Board should be piped in with the pipers.
Yeah, your question, if you don't mind. For the whiskey tasting, that's awesome, you're gonna be working the whiskey barrel, fingers crossed. LCBO, they have a community department, I believe, sometimes they do give some. Hypothetically, ooh, kickback. So if I may suggest. I know you guys are so busy, but contact LCBO and track that department down, you never know.
Okay. Thanks.
And the other group you might want to track down is Hydro One. They're still eager to give money to Sault Ste. Marie because of the hydro lines that are putting through into Sault Ste. Marie. So if you want, I have her business card and she gave Colbert some money. So they still want to build that relationship with Sault Ste. Marie.
Wonderful. Yeah, send us an email or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. And my last is that these we're putting out everywhere. They went to some places earlier in the season, but this is the cultural pass that used to be for culture. These are the tent cards that some hotels were eager to put out on their front desks. Ontario Travel has it, and so we're just still trying to get it out there. This is our trial year, and you have to buy online on the Bush Plains website, because they were willing to take in money and then distribute it later. So it's a one pass for all the attractions.
Do you have posters with those, Kathy? Or just the 10 cards? Posters to hang out?
You know what? I purposely asked Jamie at the Bush Plane to send me the poster so I could send it to you digitally. And I forgot to send it to you, so I mean, and I'm not even sure she actually sent it, so I will.
Sent it to like the regional visitor centers this fall. If
Yeah.
we could do that as, you know, as people are passing through and they're stopping for nights on like a cross Canada trip or something. Get asked the visitor center if they're interested, people are traveling back and forth out of the city, so.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's on the city's website on our page,
Oh, the poster?
so check there,
Okay.
but. Cause I'm leaving shortly, else I forget, but I've made a note, so when I get back. Or talk to John,
Okay.
yeah.
Next is Municipal Heritage Committee, doors open October 4th, and they're looking for volunteers.
Yes.
We have 3 members of the
3
committee.
members, yeah.
I know. We're having, I think, a doors open meeting next week, maybe, can't remember, week Thursday. So we're still, signing up, trying to play phone tag with everybody that's on vacation in July, so there's 2 more sites I'd like to sign up, and Virginia's got a couple of her, but yeah, volunteers would be. I put out a call yesterday on social media and I did get one volunteer, so that's good, and not every site needs volunteers. This site has the friends of, so.
I was just gonna say, we can probably put out the call, I'll make a note
Okay,
to our friends at
Thank you.
database.
yeah, and you guys could volunteer, and also just on social media, just follow everything and like it and share and do all of that, that makes a big difference. On what, how the posts get, we're on Instagram and Facebook. And Alicia has a marketing plan this year, and she's got a bit of a budget, so there is a plan. We'll see how it plays out. And Virginia's trying to get all the work done in August before the summer students leave. So that's the goal, and we had also thought, you haven't seen it yet, for this reason, the booklet, Josh Ingram is working on the graphic design now and last I heard, he was saying mid-July. And now I've heard more, so I'm waiting for the next version to drop and then when we hit it and he needed to insert pictures. And I haven't met with the student to coordinate the pictures, so. I'm not sure this is going to be ready on October 4th. We may have to put it off until Heritage Week in February. If it's not ready. But we're getting there. It's 25 years, there've been a lot of things to add it. We're up to 60 pages now.
Oof.
I know, it's just gonna be a massive document. So the last version I shared with Michael Birch and he went through it and made some kind of global things that, I agree with, quite frankly, and so it's Josh has the massive chat to get this done. And then we lost a fight. The one that I told you about, the American raid that was at the canal, Alicia's gone out looking for it, they sent summer students looking for it. I did a Google Street View drive down Canal Drive looking for it and it's not there.
I've never seen that one. So
Well-
I think it's long gone.
Oh dear, there's a photograph of, somebody posted on Facebook saying, where is this plaque? Some random person online. And there's a photograph of it with Arthur Wishart and 5 or 6 other men. It's at the canal, there's no question that's where it was planted at one time.
Yeah.
I asked Gord Penn and at Ontario, it's a provincial plaque, he doesn't have any indication that it has been decommissioned, right? So this little mystery is ongoing.
Yeah.
Where it is.
We only maintain the historic sites and monuments board plaques,
Right.
and that's not one of them.
No,
So I
this
have
is the
no
blue and yellow.
information, Yeah.
But it looks like it's on the edge of a parking lot, like a median.
Yeah, but.
And
it
that
looks
parking
also
lot
like
has been
that
reached.
was before they put the new power plant. So
Yeah,
that actually may not even be there.
yeah, I know. So we may have to take one, Josh should be now. I told him I wanna take out an entry in the book, whether he thinks he's just finished, so, but anyway, so yeah, we're kind of working on that. Interesting, it's fun. And then now I'm thinking we need to go out and drive by all the other ones to make sure they're still there. I'm not suggesting that to Alicia, because she'll kill me.
So we'll move on, well, the next meeting, unless there's other new business. Don't have any new business. So the next meeting is September 10th. And we need the committee to adjourn, so we need someone to motion. Oh, Heather. Seconder. Colin. And we'll see you September 10th. Everyone have a good August.
Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you. It's a lot
making quorum for us.
a lot of information.
Just
Yeah.
Have some information that was for the meeting then. We got the historic monuments right away to put the plaque.
I gotta
go to
buried before 9 p.m.
Just for the rankings. So it was specifically for that building.
I remember, I was there, okay.
But we have to put it up that.
You don't need to pay.
You have to.
I just gotta,
Yeah.
hold on. Wait, I gotta turn off the YouTube.
Yeah.
Our meeting is
The only one
adjourned.
I'm more was for.
So-